In March 26, 2015, the respectable and authoritative German newspaper Die Welt published an exclusive interview with Lyudmila Putina, former wife of the Russian president. She divorced from him in 2013, but according to her story, that Putin is a body double, who took over real Putin after he was assassinated in 2010. She managed to escape Russia after the divorce and is now living abroad.
My husband, unfortunately, has long been dead. I have to admit it publicly, because I could no longer see what is happening on his behalf. They are terrible people. They did not stop at nothing. I am afraid now they will kill me and daughters as well as they killed him. Our family was far from ideal. When I got married, I was in love with an intelligence officer. But the reality was quite different. Putin was a vile, cruel man and a tyrant. He never considered me. Simply did not notice my existence. I was needed only for reference and the composition of the family as a mother for his children. I find it hard to talk about it. But Putin beat me, humiliated and made fool of me. Life with him was torture. I tried to fight. Not just going to file for divorce. But this man did not have anything sacred. In order to silence me, he handed me over to a psychiatric clinic. I went through all the circles of hell: narcotics, psychotropic substances, bullying. For a long time I was locked up in prison and I never saw sunlight nor saw any people. I still remember those days with horror. But another horror began after his death. All is beyond description. He was then in a difficult period. I'm not sure, for he did not tell me, and I became even more withdrawn those days. 1 month before the death of my husband, they came at night without warning and took him away. And then he was gone completely. One night, we came home to find some people at home. Some of them I knew. Some I saw the first time. They were searching something, breaking everything upside down in the house. They reviewed all the papers. They broke up all the walls in the house. They told me only one thing: if you want to live, be silent. I asked questions about my husband, but they only replied that he would soon come back. And they said that he is now in important retreat and it was in the interest of national security. They also said I had better not to talk about that with anyone. Later I learned that the murder of Vladimir had been prepared beforehand. He was eliminated when the first body double was almost ready to take his place. In appearance he was of course very much like Putin. I was impressed. But that was a completely different person. They somehow managed to track down my daughters. They wanted to show that my daughters' lives were in their hands. Was I supposed to play the role of devoted wife for the sake of my daughters' lives? I had no choice. I first tried to avoid public events, corrosive media attention, intrigue and gossip. They all sickens me. But playing to be the wife of another man was even worse. So it seemed they were preparing a double for me in order to prevent embarrassing situation from happening from my mouth, which may disrupt their scenario. If they had time to come up with my double with passable similarities, they would have killed me long ago. Miraculously, we managed to escape. For obvious reasons. I cannot mention the names of people who have helped us to escape from this horrible situation. Divorce was my deliverance. Now that I live abroad, I'm fine. But I'm afraid to see what is happening with Russia.
You might be still incredulous about all these things. I'm going to show you some very physical evidence. There are two important things here. One is that the man who is supposed to be Vladimir Putin is a body double, fake Putin and an imposter of Putin. Real Putin himself was murdered in December 2010. And a fake Putin made a debut the next month, January 2011. So since 2011 all we have seen as Putin on news media are all lies. All we have been told is his words are not those of Putin but of some political stage crew that has been pulling strings of this puppet drama. Actually it belongs to Russian political tradition to make body doubles for the sake of safety. As a spare tire. But nowadays such doubles of the head of states are used as political weapon to manipulate mass media and people around the world. This image weapon has tremendous power in current international politics. Lastly, a few words on the next video. The next video titled, Putin is Dead Part 2, will show you Putin's last footage which testifies he was really in a desperate situation.